Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm live from my mother's house in Ireland, so hence the different background. I even made my bed, as you can see, in preparation. And the lighting is not great, actually. I'm used to my own light in my office, so it's not ideal. But you know what? It's just fine. I am here. And if you're joining me live, say good morning. You also may hear some strange sounds in the background because there's a lot of my family home at the moment. And um, basically, they're uncontrollable. So if you hear some noise in the background, if you hear some doors closing, if you hear some um, talking, that is my family. So if you're joining me live, say good morning. I just see some eyes joining me now. I'm just going to go check my group and make sure I am live in my group. I'm not seeing it just yet. Let me just check. So this morning is an opportunity to ask me any questions that you have because I actually have nothing prepared. Except there have been a couple of questions that have come in, which I am very happy to answer. And if you have some questions here on the live, I'm happy to answer those as well. First up, though, I want you to say good morning to me, say hi in the comments, tell me where you are watching from. And if you have a question for me, that is great. Okay, let me see. I also have my questions written down here in front of me so that I don't forget them. Now, I'm seeing people joining and then I'm losing people. I'm wondering if my connection is okay. It looks okay from this side, actually. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me, if my connection looks okay to you. Okay, so I'm going to take a deep breath. It's strange when you're out of your own environment how everything feels a little bit different. I'm used to a very controlled environment when the kids are at school, when my husband is busy, and having all these people roaming around uncontrollably is a bit strange when I'm running alive because literally anything could happen. Many of you know that, I have a very big family. And a lot of us are home visiting at the moment. So, as I said, prepare yourselves. Anything could happen. There could be drama. Hi, Diane. Brilliant to see you. Okay. So, and the first question actually comes in from Diane, and I think it's a brilliant question. I think it's really, really good. So, thanks for asking that question, Diane. And the essence of Diane's question is really what to do when you get a negative comment on your post. Okay, so I have nothing rehearsed, I have nothing prepared, but this is my answer. First of all, you have to expect that if you are putting content out there into the public arena, not everyone is going to agree with you all the time. And in actual fact, many people won't agree with you, and some of them feel compelled for whatever reason to go onto your post and tell you that they don't agree with you. Um, so I think it's important to understand that up front, that especially at the start, when you start speaking a little bit differently, when you start putting your opinion out there in a different way for the first time, you will have negative Nellies, as I call them, coming on and maybe disagreeing with you. Um, and what to do in that situation. The first thing I always do is I remind myself that everybody's entitled to their opinion. If it's an opinion and it's not necessarily um, derogative, I would say that leave the comment and see, can you turn it around into something positive. Now, the particular comment that Diane was talking about was related to the fact that she was saying, wearing neutral colors with a brighter color will make you look younger, which is valid. It's absolutely valid. And what Diane was saying was absolutely true. But there are plenty of women out there who don't agree with that. They just think, I want to wear color from head to toe. That's my style. That's what I want to do. And nobody's going to tell me otherwise. And that's their opinion. And they will probably never get on board with any of your content. So the next question I would ask myself is the information true as I know it? If you stand by your information, which you should do if you put any content out there, you can explain, maybe even in pictures, why you think that or whatever. I wouldn't go down the road, though, on a negative comment of explaining myself too much or justifying myself or anything like that. I would be quite kind on a negative comment like that. And say, of course, that's your opinion, and this is what I see. I see this, for instance, but I wouldn't go down I really wouldn't go down the route of explaining too much, at the end of the day, because in certain cases there will be lots of people who will never get on board. They've just decided up front, this is not for me. I don't agree with what you're saying. You're wrong. Who do you think you are telling me, to wear clothes in a particular way? So what I would do is I would just stand by the comment, and I would say something like, typically on a comment like that, I'll say something like, thank you for weighing in on my comment. I appreciate you taking the effort to write your opinion. But I wouldn't go down the route of explaining or arguing or any of those things. But I would leave the comment on there, because the more comments you have on your post, the more likely it's going to be seen by people, the greater the reach. So don't feel like you have to justify yourselves to negative Nellies. I never feel like I have to justify myself. I also wouldn't go down the route of deleting the comment unless it was derogatory, because at the end of the day, people are allowed their opinions. And it's not going to, a comment like that is not going to deter your real audience, your audience that know you're really, really good at what you do. And those people who put negative comments, at the end of the day, they're probably never going to be your client. Ask yourself, would they ever have been my client? They probably wouldn't. And over time, if you don't engage them, if you don't kind of go down the route of arguing with them, they will just leave. They will just leave. And then there's other times that, I see it quite often in my own post, that someone will just have a different opinion. So I put up a post the other day about hair color. And I talked about a question that I saw in a Facebook group about somebody asking about hair color, and my opinion that I gave about that. I gave my opinion or my answer around her question. And a lady came on and she said, well, that's not my experience. My experience is, even though I'm a cool summer, actually, I don't look good with ash in my hair. Now, I could see actually from her picture, when I looked on her profile, that she actually isn't a cool summer. I know she's calling herself a cool summer, but she's not a cool summer. In my opinion, she definitely didn't look like a cool summer with real blonde, strawberry blonde hair. So at the end of the day, I didn't go down the route of arguing with her and saying, look, I don't think you're a cool summer. I just said, look, there's always exceptions, and my own experience. So I go back again to my own experience. So I said, my own experience is, I'm a cool summer. I have naturally red in my hair. But when I'm putting color in my hair, I always keep it ash. So I basically said, thanks for weighing in. There's always exceptions. This is my experience. And I would just stand my ground on that. I would definitely not go down the route of arguing or saying something like, well, I don't think you're a cool summer. There's just no point in that, really there isn't. So I absolutely wouldn't go down that route. Okay, so that's my answer to your question, Diane. I hope it's helpful. Good morning, Jan. How are you? Great to see you. So yeah, it's a tricky one. And it took me a while not to want to immediately block all the people that commented on my posts in a less than favorable manner. Because sometimes we will get comments, we will absolutely get comments that we hoped that we wouldn't get, um, that that we prefer a different comment, because when you're dealing with the public, that's the way it works. The other thing I would probably do, Diane, now that I've been in this game for a very long time, is I would probably try and make another post about that comment. So I would say, look, I put a post out there saying that I felt that it was better to put a neutral color with brighter colors to look younger. Do you agree with this? And maybe I do a poll or something. So you're not ignoring what people are telling you. You're remaining open, and you're just using all the information that people are giving you. So use everything you get. Um, so as much as I can, I try and turn around a negative comment like that and turn it into another post. So I might put it out as a poll. I would just invite more comments on it. And what you might find is, oh my God, this is a real thing. Most people think that the more color you wear, the younger you look. Or most people don't care about looking younger. Maybe they don't care about looking younger. So, if you put that comment back out there, if you put that back out there as a post and get more information from your audience, that is going to be way more useful than blocking the person or getting upset about, the comment in the first place. You kind of have to develop a fairly tough skin when you're putting content out there on social media every day. But the great thing is that comments are a brilliant source of content. Much of my content is based on what you tell me. So, for instance, you commented on one of my posts, Diane, and here I am talking about that exact comment. So, comments can be a great source of content because you've started a conversation with potential clients. And they will tell you what they believe and what they don't believe, and what beliefs you really have to break and what you have to work with. But if you've no idea, what's going on in their head, then it's very hard to connect with them. So comments are a great source of content. They're just brilliant. So never ever shut somebody down. Remain polite, even though you might be a bit raging behind it. Just remain polite, remain calm. Don't immediately reply. Go away for a little bit. Think about, how can I use this comment to my advantage? How can I use this in a way that will get more eyes on my content, rather than fearing that people are going to judge you based on that comment. Mostly when I see negative comments on other people's posts, I judge the person who made the comment, not the person's post, especially if it was, a really kind of neutral post, which yours was. I mean, all you were doing was giving your opinion about how to look younger. And after all, you're an expert in that area. Um, so that was the first question I was covering. I really hope that has helped you, Diane. Yes, Diane is saying brilliant. Yes, thank you. Very helpful. Absolutely brilliant. Who else is joining me? I do see some more eyes. Let me know who's joining me. Has anybody any other questions for me? I'm giving you a chance to ask the questions while I'm answering some of the other questions. Okay, so I have to tell you about the noise in the background because my parents are preparing for my other sister to come home. So they had to hoover the room next door, and that was the sound in the background. And they also had to discuss which sheets needed to go on the bed for my sister. So you're getting it all today. And in a way, I love it because I love my family and I love being home. And it's nice to share a little bit of that with you. Okay, so question number 2 is figure of 8. Is it real or just a bigger hourglass? So I got this from Karen. So she's questioning about the figure of eight. Is it real or just a bigger hourglass? So I classify the figure of eight and the traditional hourglass as two different types of hourglass. For me, they're absolutely completely different. They're mainly different in the lower body. They have straighter lines in the figure of eight has straighter lines in the lower body, whereas your traditional hourglass is more curved. They have a curved bottom, they have curved hips. So to me, they're quite different. Now, I am a figure of eight, so I have a great post on that, Karen. So I am just going to find that post and I'm going to put it underneath this video, so you can read more about the differences between a figure of eight and a more regular hourglass. You can have very slim figures of eight. You can have healthier figures of eight like me. You can have much bigger figures of eight than me. But typically, once people put on a lot of weight, they start losing their weight. So they move away from figure of eight. The hourglass tends to hold their waist a little bit longer, even if they get bigger. Whereas the figure of eight will move towards a rectangle as they put on more weight. So to me, they're quite distinctly different. They both can have big boobs. Both can have a small waist, but the hips and the bottom tend to be quite different in shape. So I'm going to put that link underneath here, this post for you after the end of the live, and for anyone who is rewatching this post. Hashtag replay, by the way, if you're rewatching this. So I don't know if Karen is not or is live this morning or not, but she will get this on catch up anyway. If you have any other questions about figure of eight, you're very, very welcome to ask me. I think there's a huge distinction between a figure of eight and an hourglass, actually. And I was very confused about my figure for a very long time until I found the figure of eight. So I think it's a huge addition to your styling services if you know what a figure of eight is. And there are many, many figures of eights out there. It's quite a common figure type. I have it's loads of my clients in my Unstoppable Style program have a figure of eight, and they have just been blown away with the difference that it makes if you have the rules for the figure of eight. Okay. Jan said, thanks for the link, read the figure of eight. Okay, I will get that to you after the live because I'm not going to go looking for it right now. And the final question that I have here this morning is how to get started as a personal stylist. So I had a number of new people joining this week. Welcome if you're new. And one of the questions I got was how to get started. And it's always really tricky when you're at that stage where you got trained and now you're kind of on your own, and you have to kind of start putting yourself out there and getting started as a personal stylist. It is a tricky step and it is hard and it's not easy, but you can totally do it. There are over 1,000 personal stylists in here. Many of us have taken that step and we have survived it. There's going to be a lot of fear of being judged around this stage. There's going to be a lot of fear of you don't have enough experience. There's going to be a lot of fear of, am I good enough? Will people believe me? These are all normal feelings, but you have to keep taking action despite the fear. So the first thing I would do is I would start to work with the people around me, whether that's family or friends who are willing to come and do a consult with you, but also give you a testimonial, because testimonials are gold at this point. They show that you have worked with people, they show your expertise, they show that people are happy. So I would ask a few people around me, would you like to come and work with me, get your colors done, get your style done, but you have to give me a testimonial. Are you willing to do that? And then I would do, 3 to 5 people free of charge. After that, I would start charging. So for the next 3 to 5 people, maybe you charge a nominal amount, maybe €50 or $50 or whatever a nominal amount is for you in your currency. And then the next tree, I would double it. And the next tree after that, I would double it. So you start to build up your expertise. I think the other thing that a lot of people don't have at this stage is support, which is a crying shame, because many personal stylists train in colors, train in style, and then they're on their own. That's why in both my 5 weeks to online color expert and my unstoppable style, I have a support group where you can bring pictures of your client, and I help you to color code them, and I help you to categorize their body shape and help you with the consultation until you feel like you can do it by yourself. And that's the problem with a lot of personal stylists who are starting out. They just don't have any support. They have no one to ask a question. They have no one to bounce ideas off of. Sometimes they will be second guessing themselves, and they'll be wondering, is this, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? What else should I be doing? So it's just, I think that support around that early stage of starting to color code clients, starting to do body shape analysis, having support in those first few months is absolutely critical. And most color and style consultants don't have that, which is an absolute crying shame. So those are my tips and ideas for getting started as a personal stylist. It's about taking action. It's about taking people for free initially, not for too long, not bartering services for too long, but actually taking people for free and starting to build your portfolio of people you have worked with. Because what happens then is your confidence is going to grow and you're going to get more clients. Confidence breeds clients. Being more certain of what you provide ensures you get more clients. So it's really important to be confident about what you're providing. And that really takes me back to the first question again about negative comments on your post. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about when you get a negative comment on your post, but this can really set you back. Something like this can really set you back, and you can lose some of your confidence in what you do. Just notice what's going on for you and don't let it set you back. Keep moving forward. Keep taking action, because action breeds confidence. More knowledge doesn't breed confidence. Action, taking action, the next step and the next step and the next step. Even if you feel you're not doing them perfectly, even if you feel I should be doing this better, keep taking action, because action is the thing that's going to get you more confidence, that's going to get you more clients, because everybody knows that the more confident you are, the more likely you are to get more clients. Now, the other thing I want to tell you about getting more clients is I am doing a free challenge, a free 5-day challenge, Get More Color Clients, on the 6th to the 10th of March. I hope I have those dates right. I'm going to put the link underneath this video as well. So if you haven't signed up for that challenge already, I highly recommend you do. It's another step closer to getting more clients in the door. And I know that that's what you all want, because that's what you tell me all the time. So this is a brand new challenge that I haven't run before, that I will be helping you get more color clients. Because I chose color because color is typically the first step you take with your client, or at least it used to be the first step that I used to take with my client. And color, you can make such a massive difference with color. Immediately, it makes such a visual difference, and the person can see it themselves, and they become a raving fan. If you give people a range of colors that they absolutely love, and they feel good about themselves and they feel more confident, they are going to go out there and they are going to rave about you. They're going to become a raving fan. They're going to tell other people. You're going to get more testimonials. You're going to grow in confidence. So all the good stuff is going to start happening. So it's really, really, really key that you put yourself out there. And one way to do that is to come and join me in my challenge from the 6th to 10th of March, and start getting more clients and be supported. Be supported for these 5 days and get some clear steps about how you can get more clients. So I'm not seeing any other questions in the group right now. I only have a few people joining me this morning. I do understand that it's early for a lot of people. If you're watching this on replay, hashtag replay. If you have some questions that you'd like me to ask, I can, if it's a simple question, I can ask it underneath. I can answer it underneath this video. If it's a longer question, I can do another Ask Me Anything session, or answer your question in a live. So hashtag replay if you're watching it on replay. If you have any questions regarding my live this morning, you can just pop it underneath this video. And with that, I am going to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful weekend ahead. I'm looking forward to spending the rest of the weekend with my family. We have a big 40th birthday on Saturday night, and then I'm back to France on Sunday. So thank you to those who joined me live this morning. I really, really appreciate it. And I will catch you all again very, very soon. Take care. Bye.